Tonight, the Irving teenager arrested for his so-called, what he called a homemade clock, visited the White House. Ahmed Mohamed was arrested last month at Irving MacArthur High School after a teacher thought his clock looked suspicious. Remember, his story went viral, even grabbing the attention of the president. Tonight, Ahmed attended an astronomy night at the White House and briefly met the president, though he did not have his clock with him. Fox 4's Brandon Todd is at Irving Police Department right now with more, and Brandon knows where that clock is. Brandon.
Yeah, that clock is right here at the Irving Police Department. In fact, it's in their evidence room where it has been since 2 days after that incident. Now, as you mentioned, Ahmed got to meet the president tonight. Let's go ahead and show you the picture of that meeting. You can see kind of the crowd of people there. You look right in front of the president. You can see the top of Ahmed Mohamed's head. Now, this meeting was more of a behind-the-scenes type of meeting than it was really part of the public event tonight at the White House, which was astronomy night.
I love astronomy night.
On the White House lawn, members of Congress, scientists, representatives from NASA, and budding young scientific minds gathered for astronomy night.
We've got Bill Nye, the science guy.
And among the invited guests, Ahmed Mohamed, the 14-year-old Irving teen who was arrested last month at MacArthur High School after he brought a homemade clock to school. Right after Ahmed's arrest, and seemingly before the picture of the clock was even released, President Obama tweeted, "Cool clock, Ahmed. Want to bring it to the White House? We should inspire more kids like you to like science. It's what makes America great."
We've got some young Americans here tonight with that same kind of adventurous spirit.
But the Irving teen did not have his clock with him at the White House. That homemade clock is still in Irving police evidence. Although the family has been invited to come and pick it up, they have not.
We've got to keep encouraging some young kid in Brooklyn or a budding rocket scientist in Alabama or that young girl who's dreaming to become an astronaut.
The president acknowledged the young people there and praised them for their eagerness to enter the field of science. But while he called out some young scientific enthusiasts by name, there was no mention of 14-year-old Ahmed Mohamed in the president's remarks. CARE, however, the Council on Islamic Relations, did acknowledge the freshman Saturday. The group awarded Mohamed the Muslim of the Year award, which ironically looked like a clock.
All right, take a look at that picture again of the meeting there with Ahmed Mohamed and President Obama. Now, Steve, you can see kind of that there's a big crowd around there as he's meeting the president. This was actually after those remarks that he had at astronomy night. They had a big deal that where they acknowledged a lot of folks from NASA there and kind of went through all the dignitaries that were there. And then afterward, the public got to meet the president. This was part of that. Steve?
Brandon, I do have a question about the clock that's, I guess, right behind you at the police station. All right. I remember there was an attorney who filed a lawsuit pretty quickly saying, hey, against the police department, saying we want the clock back. And the PD kind of said, come get it. It's been ready for you to get it. And I know Ahmed's kind of been a world traveler, but why, do we know why the clock hasn't been picked up? Any reason?
We don't, and the family hasn't released any sort of statement, which they have done for other things, regarding why they have not picked up the clock. But the police department has made it very clear, again, 2 days after they confiscated the clock, they notified a family representative that it was here at the police department. The family had to just come down, sign for it, and it's theirs. But they, as of yet, have not done that. Steve?
Okay. All right. Brandon Todd, thanks. The DFW chapter of CARE was also recognized at the same ceremony where Ahmed Mohamed received his award as Muslim of the Year. It won the CARE Chapter of the Year. Chapter Executive Director Alia Salem accepted the award. The DFW chapter had to handle a number of high-profile incidents this year, including the Irving teen's arrest and condemning May's deadly attack at the contest for the drawing of the Prophet Muhammad in Garland.